So this movie has been trending online, Far From Home, sorry, series. And I just thought to do a review on this series because it was an interesting watch for me. First off, the fact that the cast were not many of them were familiar faces. I it's after I saw Far From Home, I went to check Ishaya Bello, the Micah Folarin, the guy that played Ishaya Bello in Far From Home, and I was like, he has been doing other movies, and this was the first time I was seeing him in this series. And boy, he went from 9K followers as at the time I checked to I think 95,000 the last I checked. I'm like, one like your stardom can just happen overnight. Anything can, like, it can be one day, it can be 1 week, it can be anything. It can just be that one project that would bring you out to the world. Hello guys, it's been a while. So onto the business that brought us here. My name is Nora Mohammed, by the way, and welcome to my YouTube channel at Nora's World. I love this series so much. First off, because the characters, like I said, were not all familiar faces. I love that they represented teenagers. Usually you see Nollywood movies, when they are acting secondary school, they'll go and use somebody that is close to 40 years and put them in secondary school uniform, and they'll start acting like, oh, I'm a secondary school student. I'm like, how now? How is it possible? Like, but in this series, you saw that they were young, not like they were really the age they portrayed in the movie, but they in the series, oh God, movie. I don't know why I keep calling movie, but you see that they are young characters, and they are many of them, I believe, are still in their 20s, and some, I don't know, I really do not know their age, but men, and I must comment that the fact that they didn't even sideline any character. In my opinion, the experienced characters in the series, in the likes of Adeswai, Tommy, Ufoma Domod, RMD, they were not at the forefront. There were also main characters, but like they did not cover those young stars. And these people brought their A game. Everybody did their best. Like I keep saying, Genoveva Ume, I just love that girl. Like I've seen her in two series. That's Blood Sister and this one. And I went through her page and I saw a couple of things that she's done. And I must say that girl is going places. She's super intelligent. She gets into her character so well. She's beautiful, she's charismatic, she's outspoken, but then I love the series. There's one thing that it was so funny and relatable in this series, and it's the fact that when a guy is friends with you, don't come near his sister. It doesn't matter if you're a good boy or a bad boy. Don't just come near his sister. Just what Ishaya did when he found out that his friend, the rich roommate in school, liked his sister, and he came home and it was just like, if you wanted to be a prostitute, why didn't you just stay back at the club and be used for? And I'm like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Like, they like each other. It's not that deep. It's not saying I'm going to marry her now, or it's not saying, okay, I'm going to, they're just two young people. But that goes to show that our brothers, hey, how they react when it comes to relationship issues, especially when it comes to their sisters. But if it's them, And another thing that I took out from this series, did you see how they incorporate Africa into this? Like, usually when you see African movies and their series, there's always this portrayal of poverty. Like, people outside the country are always thinking of us as, when they think of Africa, they think of AIDS, they think of dirty water, they think of lack of water, they think of poverty, they think of When I mean poverty, abject poverty, they think of suffering, they think all sort of negative things about us. The portrayal of Africa in this setting, like, we speak English, we express ourselves. We, aside the fact that we speak English, I mean, that's not to say we are civilized because we speak English. We speak our dialect too, and we are civilized people. And it portrayed the richness, like the wealthy part of Africa. It shows that Nigeria, there are people in Nigeria that are wealthy as well, not like the Nollywood line that we're accustomed to. Like, oh, they are suffering, they're in the village, they're going to farm. Here you have wealthy family who lack practically nothing. They have money, they have power, they have connections, and there's a school that is, world class, that can compete world class. The environment, the sporty activities, a lot of other activities that were in this series that the school took part in. And it talked about money, a lot of things that they portray in this movie were just so interesting. And if I were to rate this movie, I'll give it a 10/10 because, man, they did greatly. The lead character, Ishaya, this is the first time that they are casting somebody that is not popular as a lead character, and this was so beautiful. You hardly see this in Nigeria series, and I hope that they continue in this line, because this shows that there are young talents out there. I don't know why they will leave young talents and be giving roles to people that are, well, in acting, you can always play any role, but like, why I just think it's only fair and appropriate to give the role to who best suits it, especially if it's a character of a 19-year-old. Give it to somebody that is around that age. If it's a character of a teenager, give it to a teenager. If it's a character of an adult, give it to an adult. But something that I didn't quite understand in this series is at the first character, right? According to the series, Ishaya is a teenager and he was dating this girl who is also a teenager. I don't know if there's any part in the series that stated that she wasn't, and all of a sudden, from being a teenager, she got angry that she was not taken along, she was not told about Ishaya leaving and all that, and then she went into she went to a club, and all of a sudden she has become the the woman or the babe of a drug lord. Like, she's probably a teenager, like let's say 19 or 18, and all of a sudden you are a ringleader. You have even caged the drug lord. I mean, that I don't know how that played out. I really do not. I do not think that was real. It didn't portray reality. Like, it's almost impossible. I don't know, but in all, they did great. I love the characters. They did well. No character was sidelined. Everybody brought their A game. Everybody was portrayed right. Nobody was like waka pass. So I saw lots and lots of reviews on Twitter. Everybody was just like, I know. And there's one thing though about ambition, right? I've read things about people who are ambitious and people who want to get to the top, that the top is a lonely place. And this movie portrayed that, how Ishaya was willing to go through anything, to do anything just to get to that passion, that dream of his. And he was stepping on toes at some point. And I'm like, all these just to get to your dreams. Well, the mother caused it anyways. I mean, please, if you've not seen this series, this is a spoiler. I should have said that earlier. If you've not seen this series, this is a spoiler. So the mom stole his money for his father's health to care for, and then they acted like they didn't care, like it was their right to do so. And this is what African parents do to their children. Like, this is not even a lie. Like, as a child, you do not get respected. Mostly, I'm not saying everybody, but like, it's predominant in the African setting. Like, you don't get respected as a child. Whatever they do to you, it's right. They cannot apologize to you. Like, they are above the law. Your parents are above the law. You are under them. You're beneath them. whatever they do to you, they have the right to. They can decide to work on you. You can even come and beg because they're your parent. And I think that we should begin to rearrange our mindset, unlearn certain things, because I don't think that is right. Because you stole this guy's money and then you pushed him out to go and do something that warranted that they had to they came for him. And now, because they came for him, you sent him out again and say, you know what, don't come back here. Like, well, the rates at which Ishaya was going about his dream about that he had to steal money, collected money from his friend, and that friend of his was so patient in this series. Like, he was super patient. And you just, sometimes you just think, oh, you have money, you just give them money. I don't know, people just think when they do things to you and they give you money, that should sort it. What Ishaya did to his friend was terrible to me. And he will act like it's nothing. Like, he will hurt people and he will act like it's nothing. He will not feel like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, like the person will be going through a lot and Ishaya will not even give a care in the world. But the length at which he was willing to go just to achieve his dreams, right? And a lot of people do that, and when they eventually get to that point and they lose their friends, and you know, they just have a few persons, they are lonely, they don't have people who are there for them, who are true, because those true people, they've left them behind, they've neglected them. Those people have tried to communicate with them and like they were too busy chasing their dreams than to have put that call through or return the call that they missed, or check on them. They were just too busy and they would rather go for that dream and get it than be with those people. And a lot of people, that's why a lot of people who are rich tend to be lonely. I don't know, Sha. I will have to find out. Let me get there first and find out, because I'm not rich yet. So yeah, that's it about Far From Home. If you've not seen this series, please go and see it. It is very interesting, coming from Nigeria. People say it's an imitation of Blood and Water, and I keep saying that the plot is not the same. I mean, yes, it's a high school series, they wore uniform and all that, but it's not. Far From Home, what's it called? Blood and Water was more of an investigative series, right? It was talking about who killed who gave birth to who, how and all that. But this particular one was just like a boy who transitioned from being a poor boy to going to a big school, to now getting involved in drugs and trying to get his ambition in check and everything. So there were two different storylines, and I just felt like, okay, fine, it's a high school thing, but they weren't the same. Comparable, yeah, you can compare it to Blood and Water, but I think I love it. I think this should set the precedent for a more good Nigerian series to come from Nigeria. Go and see Far From Home. Is interesting. I give it a 10/10. If you watched to this point, thank you for watching. My name is Nora Mohammed and this is Nori's World. Until I come your way next time, bye for now. Please leave a comment. Please leave a comment if you watched to this point. Give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye. Mwah.